Well, today I have the Artemis collection from our friends at Ciao Bella, and this is absolutely gorgeous. So many things in it, and I made some different decisions about this as I got started, and I'm going to share all of that with you in just a moment. But here is one of the cards that I did, and it's just really, really fun to play with this set. Okay, won't you please come play with us? Now, this is the Artemis. This is the creative pad. And what the creative pad has is a ton of stuff. There are only 9 double-sided sheets, but look at what you get. I kind of started showing you that, didn't I? So on the back of the cover, you have some cutouts and paper. And all of these other sheets have cutouts on one side, and they have the patterned cardstock on the other. So I'm just going to flip through this and let you see, and I hope you're looking. That's pretty. I think the art is drop-dead gorgeous. It is just wonderful. And while these are all cutouts, you can see that they're really a lot of straight lines, so it's not difficult to do in any way, shape, or form. But you do want to make a decision. Okay, so more of the cutouts, another patterned, and more of the cutouts and another pattern. So as I had all of this laid out in front of me, I'm thinking, okay, do I want to have the cutouts and 500 options, or do I want the pattern cardstock? And I decided that I wanted the cutouts because I think they are very special. So my decision was I was going to go elsewhere for my patterned papers to work with these. Okay, so I'll get to that in a minute. But right now, I also went through and decided, okay, now what am I going to use? So I looked through all of them and I thought, okay, I see butterflies in many places. I see women in many places. I see cats. In fact, you can see one right there in many places, flowers. And so I decided that those, let's see, women, butterflies, flowers, and cats. Those are going to be my 4 themes of my 4 cards, okay? You still have tons left, okay? So those were my decisions. Now, let me show you how I chose the paper. And on all of our 12 by 12s, we have thumbnails of the papers. Now, if you go to paperwishes.com, which is, of course, the only place you can get this, and click on Golden Botanical 12 by 12 patterned, you will see a piece of this. You can print that out. In fact, what we do here, little trick, we have, actually, Debbie has a notebook with sheet protectors in it, and she takes these, prints them off, and puts them in there. So we can go through and say, okay, well, I have all of these cutout pieces, and what paper collection is going to work for me, okay? And that's exactly what I did. And in Golden Botanical, look what I have. I have things that will work with the greens. Let's see, I'm going to show you the full-size sheets. Okay, so here we go. So I have these greens, and that's going to go with pretty much anything because there's a lot of greens in here. And that's nice, but I also have golds. And voila, it goes with them also. So how neat is that? And in addition to those two, slide them over, I have some beautiful large cutouts. I have a blue set because there are a few blue things in here, and excuse me, I have a purple set because there are a few purple things in here too. Wow, all of that in one collection. Well, you would have thought it would have been designed that way, wouldn't you? But Golden Botanicals just seem to work, to me, perfectly with the Artemis. So that's what I chose to do. Okay, so those were my big decisions in the beginning. And I decided also that if I was going to suggest the Golden Botanical to you, that it really should be used in all the cards, because that's the only reason that it makes any sense to purchase it. Okay, so that's what I decided, and that's what I've done, and I hope you like it too. And I'm just going to get all these pieces out of my way, and let's see. Excuse me. We will start with the first card. Okay, and this is using, well, here's my ladies. And so here she is, and here's my other lady. And then look, I have this going on, and then look at my little hidden message in there. You're in my heart. Okay. Oh, so fun to do. Okay, this is using, well, to begin with, for the papers. Okay, so this is going to use this one, and you can see it on the inside there. It's also going to use the green, and it's also going to use the large cutout and the border, the green border, that skinny little border. So look at that. Now, it's also going to use a cutting die, and that cutting die is a new one, Easy Duo Display. Now, it's just 2 pieces, and many of you may have done this on your own to get this piece that goes along here. I'm not sure that you have also done the little crossbars that go in here that allow you to have kind of stepping pieces going down. But I will tell you, this is the least expensive cutting die we've done out of the fabulous folded collection. And it's probably one, it's just such a versatile one. Now, I have used it exactly like it was done on the package. But if you watch the webisode on this, you'll see Debbie did some amazing things with it. But stay focused here, okay? So what you do, step 1, is you take your card, and I may have one in here. Let's see. Yes, I do. Okay. You're going to take your card, and we are using the Big Surprise 5 by 6.5 inch card. Okay. So you're going to take the front of it and score it at 2.5 inches, which is halfway. Score it, and then fold that back on itself. And that's going to give us those 3 panels that we're going to need. Okay. Now, the duo piece is right here. The wonderful thing about it is that it is already scored for you. Yes, and that's what we like. And what you do is, after you have decorated the inside, this piece and this piece, okay? So you need to do that first. Then you take this strip, die cut it, fold it according to the directions on the package. You're going to attach it, the long piece right here. That's going to get folded back. And then the narrow piece, the narrow end, I'm going to do this, that's going to get attached on the inside of the card. So right there, it goes right to the end. This one goes right to the end. And then the card is going to fold down like that. Also, it's going to leave you space to do those stepping pieces. And those are done with these crossbar pieces. So I'll turn this one over so it's white. There are 2 score lines. You simply fold these back, put extra sticky tape. You do 2 of them. Put extra sticky tape, and they are going to go, let's see, they're going to go inside the card like this. They're going to go right in there where the legs go against the card. And then the second one, the legs can go right against this piece too, this piece. So you just layer it. Now I'm going to open up my finished card and show that to you, okay? So that's the basic information. It's all right there. It's all contained with your dies in this envelope, and that just works really nicely. Okay, so you can see that I cut that out of the green, and I did place the gold paper, and I do have to tell you that I loved this line work that's on the edge. So you can see that I used it right there. I also used it over here because it's just so pretty, and it just does such a nice job of coordinating with the art. Okay, going back to the card front, so I put those pieces on. Then I took my lady and I did ink the edges of her because I wanted, I didn't want any white to show. I really wanted her sitting within that white halo that's on that large cutout. So there's the large cutout. And I did ink the edges of that also. So I used khaki. And this is what I do actually at home. I have pieces of cardstock, and so this is my green set. And I have just tapped the ink pad on it and made sure I wrote down which one it was, so that when I'm figuring out which green I want, I can go, you know, like this. Oh, that's not going to work. That's too blue. That's lime. That is velvet fawn. That's brown. This shouldn't even be on the brown. What are you doing on the green sheet? So I can decide what I want to do, and that works well for me. Okay, I use a blending brush and just go right along the edge. And I did that on the cutout, and I also did it on my lady. So, and she's a very nice size, so that works really well. Okay, now with her, so she is glued just on the white area. So you can see just on that fold. So the left side of her is glued to the left side of my card. And I glued her on top of this piece, the Easy Duo. And I glued the narrow piece of border from the paper pack right here, just right along this piece. And I think it just gave me some nice colors of green. I did feel when I was at that point that I wanted a little bit of shine. So I went to Dazzle's, of course, why would I go anywhere else? And you can see that I did the scallops just right there, just going right along the edge. I didn't go on the bottom, I just went around her. And then I used the jewel picker, which Lene is in love with, and I kind of been following her, and used that to pick up the gold jewel dazzles. There are 540 on this sheet. And all you do, and I did have a dear lady ask me how to make this work, so let me just do a little demo for you. So all you do is, there's two ends, one is narrow and one is fatter, and there is a second one that's called jumbo, so you have options. And when you press down on the dazzle, you kind of wiggle it a little bit. Did you notice that? So you can see it's holding on. Can you see that it's holding on? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then you're just going to place it. So I'll add another one right there. And that's all you do. That's it. You just repeat, okay? And I just really liked how I could follow that curve around her, and I think it just gave more highlight into her face, and I thought that was really pretty. So highly recommend that. Okay, at that point, I am done with my card front, but I want to go onto the inside. And what I did here is, this is another of the cutouts, and let me show you. And it's kind of interesting in that you would think that you would only use it going that way so that the flowers are going up, but I didn't, because my tag needed to go vertically. So I just turned it on its side. It was perfectly fine, and it was happy that way. I did ink the edges. I cut her out again, straight lines, no problem. I did ink her, and you'll notice that she's not centered on the inside. She's so that when this card is closed, you don't see her, and that's what I wanted. The other thing I wanted, I'm just such a fanatic about having things look to the inside of the card, okay? Look from the inside. So she's looking kind of to the inside, and she's looking straight. So they're kind of connected. They're both redheads too, so that was kind of neat. To add a little something to her, I did tie just a knot in the grosgrain that's in the green ribbon set and just sewed it in place. And that was enough, I felt, to just kind of finish that tag because it did have a circle there. Now, what I wanted to do here, I ended up changing it because I thought I could do this and have it behind the single flower. Let's see, let me open this up a bit for you. Okay, so I thought that I could have this here and then have the single flower and then the other flower down further, but it didn't work because of course I want to be able to see her face. So I have my two cross bars, and you can see that they are touching. This one is the legs are touching the back of the card, and this one is just almost touching this crossbar. Okay, so that stabilizes them. Now in this piece, I trimmed off the base of it so it would be the height that I wanted. And then this is just the square that it is. Now again, I want to talk about that you don't have to fancy cut around it. You can just cut along the outside of it. It'll work just fine. Okay, so I've attached them, and so that there is this stair stepping going on, which is what I wanted. And I can save this to use somewhere else. And then we have a new set of dazzles. And where are you? Yes, if I sit here and talk to my things, maybe they'll show up. Okay, oh, here it is. Okay, it's called Just For You. And this was a customer request, and there are 5 sheets in here: black, white, gold, silver, and brown. Brown is what I used here. And the customer said, we have things that this will work, but she just wanted a whole sheet that would be things about thinking of you and just sending cards for those reasons, just thinking of you. So it has You're in my heart, as you can see, because I care, just for you, keeping in touch. It's got some little hearts, it's got some little birds. They're all in cursive or they're stacked, so you can make them long, you can make them narrow. And actually I have used that in 3 of the 4 cards too. So I placed the brown one there, and I love the idea it's kind of hiding. I thought that was really nice. So there is my finished card, and I have an envelope for it, so that works nicely. Okay, card number 1. Card number 2 is the one that I showed you in the beginning, and this is also using that same paper. So over here, no inking, but over here, I cut it to be smaller than my card. Now this is a tent card, so this is 5 inches by 7 inches, and the score isn't over here, it's at the top, hence the name tent, just like that. Okay, so this is a tent, and so it's a little bit larger. And I did use that same gold paper. Now remember, in the first one I had this line art going on the edges. Well, here I have it on the bottom, and it is swirling right like that. Now I did add velvet fawn to the edges, so you can see it is darker. So let me just, you can see that. So that's the exact same paper. I just made it a bit darker, and that's what I wanted in this. In fact, I tried a couple of colors. This is the velvet fawn. So this is a scrap piece. So I did the velvet fawn in one area, and then I did mustard in the other, just to see what I wanted. And I obviously went with the velvet fawn because brown is what I was going to be using, but mustard comes in later. Okay, so that's a good way to test your inks before you commit to your cut paper. So that's been down. Then I wanted to, this is my butterfly card, okay? So this, I wanted this large butterfly. You might have remembered seeing that. So I just trimmed it up. I did, I think I did a little, maybe I didn't. I didn't do any inking. Okay, can you see that the wings are lifted on each side? Okay, the way that I did that is I took this piece, put it on a mat that's self-healing, and then I used my blade. This is the pen, a retractable pen. Let's see, let me show you. There you go. It has a small blade. And I just went around each of the top wings, not the bottom wings, but just right around the top wings. And so that was ready for me. Now I do have some foam tape under there, but before that, I'm going to do something else. And that is, I'm going to get my brown glitter cardstock. So this is, you can see that there's brown in here and the gold. So brown and gold was kind of my thing. A little bit of green, of course, but that's what I chose. And I used my circle cutting die, and I used the plain one, not the scallop, to cut this circle. By the way, I have written directions on all of these. They are down below. Just click on the card and you'll see the directions. You can print them out if you want. I did this kind of as a test in a previous Paulette's Paper Play webisode of the idea of mixing your shapes. And I was really pleased with that, so I wanted to come back to it. So I have my rectangle on top of my circle, and I think that just does a really nice job of framing it. So this is foam taped, and then there's extra foam tape underneath the wings just to keep them lifted, okay? Then even though that was some nice shine and some gentle shine, I wanted to add a little bit more. So I went to the oval border dazzles, and I used the brown set. And let me just show you something about that, because not only are there ovals in there, but there are some straight lines. So let me show you. Okay. You know what? I think I used the brown, not the copper. No, I used the copper. Okay. I'm set. Now, this has, if we can get in just as close as you possibly can, I'll show you on the big end. There are 3 sizes actually of ovals. You can see the ovals. I'll just lift it up. So there it is. Okay, but in between there is another set that is not oval. And let me. Okay, how about this? How about if I pull this puppy out and there we go. And show it to you. So there's the oval, but there is kind of a diamond. Yes. So I'm referring to that in the directions as the, I think I said as the inner. So you've got, gosh, I think it's like 60 pieces on here. So it's neat. So here I use the straight lines, and this is, as I said, there are 3 sizes. I was showing you the large one because the camera. So there's a medium and there's a small one. You can kind of see the division on the sheet. So I use the straight one of the small, and notice I let it go outside the paper. So on both edges. So these are going just inside the paper, but they're going to the edge of the card, and they're overlapping, okay, on all of them. Then did the same trick as I just showed you to get copper jewel dazzles into or onto the butterfly, going down the body, the antenna, bigger ones at the tips of the wings, and then some little ones in the flowers on the butterfly. The Just Because is also from that same Just For You set of new dazzles. So that's just down there, Just Because. Now on the inside of my card, because I had that flourish down at the bottom, like that, I went to the side with it for the inside of the card. And you can see right there. And again, you can see the difference in color. This gets darker. So I did cover the entire inside, and I did ink it again with the Velvet Fawn and my blending brush. I cut a smaller brown brown glitter circle. Now this is a rectangle, but it is placed horizontally because that's the way the art is, and that goes here. Now notice also this circle is off center. I did that because I love this. I think it's so pretty, and I think it just does a really nice job of playing with the art. Okay, so this is here, more of the copper dazzles. Now you can see I used, hopefully, it's getting closer. This is the oval border. So can you see the difference between that and the one at the bottom, which is the inside straight piece? You're in my heart. Yes, I used that on the first card, but I used it again here. And we are done. Just a simple card, easily done. Okay. Now, I'm going to go to our next card. And this one is using the flowers. And the flowers, there are a lot of flowers. This one I really wanted to use, but I couldn't make it work with what else I wanted to do. So I'll explain that in just a second. And where is my, there it is. Okay. This is the cutting die that I wanted to use. It's called Winter's Butterfly Window, and I absolutely love it. You'll be seeing it again. And it has this oval, and this oval cuts within the paper. Okay, so I selected my green flower, and I thought that was really pretty. It's smaller to be a focal. As you can see, that would be a more apt focal, but I really wanted to use this because, again, that way of kind of embracing the art that I just such a fan of. So in doing the flowers, I had a lot of choices to make with my paper. So I went with the green, that I used a bit of that on the front of the very first card where I used the strip for the Easy Duo, but this time I'm using more of it. So I did cover my full 5 by 6.5 inch card with it, and I don't think I did inking. I don't think I did, but the directions will tell you. But what I did do is I wanted to play off the gold with the green because I just thought that was such a pretty combination. So I chose, this is the gold metallic cardstock, and I die cut this piece. So what you get when you die cut it is you get this oval. There is a butterfly under here, but I did something else with it. And I thought how fun to have this right here. Again, it's not centered, it's off center. But to have all of these kind of leaves and things going around this flower, how nicely coordinated that is. So that's what I did, is I die cut that out. Now this is a place where using the quick release works really well, because all of these little holes tend to capture that metal, or you can poke them out, which is what I did with your penknife, but using the quick release would be great. Then I wanted to create something glittery but not overwhelming, because this is my star. And I took the clear glitter adhesive sheets. You've seen that before with me. And I put that on top. So I did peel this back, because that's where the glitter is. I'm not going to wear it. And I put that on top of the gold. And I ran just this small part of the cutting die through my die cutting machine. That gave me just the butterfly wings. Then I cut it out with this piece. Okay, so I did two things. I think I've got a piece here to explain that maybe a little bit better. Okay, so here is my whole cutting die. That was the first area I did. Then I put the glitter. Can you see the glitter? I put that over just this area of the metal, of the gold metallic, and then I ran that through the machine again. Then I took that piece out and die cut it with this so that I had my butterfly isolated. Otherwise, it was connected, well, it was right here. It was connected to all of these pieces. So that's perfect because it's right here. Then I did a second one with this little butterfly and did it with the glitter. And that is attached right here. That's got the glitter on it. That's got the glitter on it. It's got extra sticky tape underneath the body of both of them. And you can see that the wings can lift. So there's the regular butterfly, which is lovely, but I thought this just kind of gave it more presence. So there it is. The dazzles are the thin line dazzles. Here we go. That are around the edge. Notice that they're right at the edge. And just for you, now I know that may be a little hard to see, so I could have done it in brown or white, but I did it in the gold, and this is again out of the Just For You collection, the new Dazzle collection. Okay, on the inside, ta-da! I thought this was fun. So I've got two other flowers. Yes, I couldn't make up my mind. And I cut one piece of the gold metallic. And this is where I did this one with the khaki, this one with the mustard. And you can see the difference nicely. So those two really made a difference on them. And the Thinking of You, out of that same dazzle set, this is the same thin line dazzles. However, out of this cutting die, so you've got this oval, you've got the individual butterfly, you've got the tiny butterfly, you have a corner. So I put the clear glitter adhesive onto the gold, and I cut out 4 of those and attached them right in the corners. So I have gold on gold and yellow on gold and green on gold, and it almost looks to me like these are embossed because they just kind of float in with the metallic gold. So that is my flower card, okay? So very fun to do. I have one more card for you. Do you remember what I was going to do? I was going to do the women, the butterflies, the flowers, and the kitties. So here's my kitty. Okay, I had an interesting time with this. Okay, so this, the white kitties I was really attracted to. I have a black kitty and a gray kitty, so, you know, why not? And I wanted to play with it, and I thought the arch is just such a great shape. So, but I wanted to do something more. So I took my card, my 5 by 6.5 inch card, and I placed white glitter cardstock on it. So here's my white glitter. And there's my white glitter. Now you want to attach it to the front of your card before you die cut it. And then, as you probably know, you simply place your die so that, and you want to use the largest one. Come on. There we go. And you want to place it so that the cutting edge is not going to cut into the fold. So you place it over it, like this. Okay, so that's not going to cut it. It's outside. The card is inside that cut, but the rest of it is fine. So you just run it through your die cutting machine. It's going to work perfectly every time. And then I had chosen a whole bunch of kitties. Whoops, let me turn this over. Flat side against the package. And with this one, although it's kind of purple back there, I thought the blue worked nicely. So this is the blue that I used. Remember, going back to my Golden Botanical, which I have used on all of them. I'm so pleased. And die cut out this arch, smaller arch, obviously, and I inked it with royal blue. Had my same thing. This is my blue piece, and you can see Air Force, Prussian, royal blue, electric blue, and blueberry. And it was pretty close between these two, but I went with the royal blue. So just ink the edges of that. I think it just gives a nice shadow, and I'm a great fan of it. So my kitty is again not centered. It was on the right-hand side. And these pieces of Dazzles are out of the 117 beautiful butterflies. And all of the sheets in here, there are 9 sheets, they all use the same cutting die that's here. So you get big butterflies, you get small butterflies, you get all kinds of things, some wonderful swirls. And I put them down. So I did my wish out of here. Can you see that okay? Let's see if there's another one. There's some pearl in here. In fact, the pearl is what I used. In fact, that's actually good to share with you. Okay, so there is a silver pearl, a pink pearl, a gold pearl, and then there's also the plain white, and there's the gold and the silver and the red in the sparkly. So obviously I'm not going to be using the pink because that doesn't work. So I had the gold and the silver. And actually I put the gold down first, but it just kind of blended too much. And it's gold, but it has silver edges. But the silver has gold edges, and I thought the gold just on the edge played better with the gold that I have going around my arch. So we'll get in closer just so you can really see that. So you see the pearl, the silver, and the gold edge, and how nicely it mirrors the gold there. So I've got one little spray, I've got the word wish, and I've got butterflies in descending sizes. Okay. Now for the outside, I used the gold border Dazzles, and I chose this design because it's looser and it can move a little bit better when I'm laying it down. So as I lift this up to show you, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so I'm pulling it up. Oh, come on, baby. Shoot. Okay. La la la. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. It just got tucked. There we go. So you can see that I'm going to be able, well, maybe you can't see. How about this? I'm going to be able to move that a little bit more because there's more give in that shape, certainly more than some of the others. So I'm going to lay that back down so that I can use that again. So when I placed it here, when I got to this, I needed to clip it and then overlap the next piece, and I came across, I had to clip it, overlap there, and I think that was all. I think the rest of it worked. So I have a piece that I thought looked well. There, it kind of looks like a brad is there. I didn't do anything more to it. I could have, but I didn't. On the inside, I elected to go green. And the green was because I wanted to use this piece. Now again, you might think that you really had to do a lot of cutting, but you don't. You can just follow it around. Same thing with the tag. And I did here use khaki on the edge. I did die cut it. This is the green, you know, my famous green. And I did edge it with the khaki ink pad. Did cut it, well, first I cut it with the arch. And I've actually got, it's the same size arch that I used on the front. I just used it on the green. So this piece is overlapping it this way, and this piece is overlapping it this way. There's another swirl. There are 2 swirls on that sheet. So I used one on the front and one on the inside. I did use a medium-sized butterfly. And then this is again the another piece of this same border that went around. And this is exactly as you see it, and it went around quite easily. It worked really well. So that was nice. So my silver, I thought, kind of echoed the white that's in the cat and that cat, just like the glitter did out here. But I thought that the silver just kind of mirrored that nicely. It gave me a little bit of shine. So that is my last card. And hopefully you can see why I elected, let's see, to keep my Artemis and keep all that wonderful, wonderful art and pair it instead with my Golden Botanical papers because it just worked so well. And I think in the Money Saver, I also added our new Just For You Dazzles, I think. So I think all of those are in the Money Saver. If they're not, those two are for sure. But everything is available, as you know. So I hope I have answered. I hope the lady who was not thrilled with all of the cutting out that you do with the Ciao Bella's creative pads sees that there is some value, and that even when you get something that looks like, that looks like this, you can simply, let's see, or this, you can just cut on the outside of it. You don't have to go into that detail. It's just perfectly fine. Just like this, the charm of simple words. Just cut straight and then ink the edges. It will work perfectly and you don't have to worry about it. So that's a way. And then you've got lots of art and lots of papers left and lots of things that you can do, and it's very fun. Okay, that's my story this time. I want to thank you for being here. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube, you know the drill. If you will please like us there and subscribe, that lifts our ratings, which we're interested in doing. Head on over to paperwishes.com. That's the only place you can get Golden Botanical, the only place you can get the Just For You. And all of the directions are down below. Just click on the cards, you'll see the directions, and that's ready for you. I want to thank you for being with me today. You can tell I have a really good time making these, and it's fun to kind of explore the different papers and give you reasons why I made the design decisions that I did make. So thank you, my dear, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.